A Christmas Carol, Part 2, or what I would like to consider as to be one of the best parts of Stave 2. It's one of those things that's not really shown in the films. Sometimes in films you see the breakup with Belle, but you don't really see what happens after that in the novel, or in the novella in this case. So this takes us from just after that, when Scrooge has said, "Please don't show me any more." But the ghost of Christmas past has one more scene to show them. And now Scrooge looked on more attentively than ever, when the master of the house, having his daughter leaning fondly on him, sat down with her and her mother at his own fireside, and when he thought that such another creature, quite as graceful and as full of promise, might have called him father, and been a springtime in the haggard winter of his life, his sight grew very dim indeed. "Belle," said the husband, turning to his wife with a smile, "I saw an old friend of yours this afternoon." "Who was it?" "Guess." "How can I? I don't know," she added in the same breath, laughing as she laughed. "Mr. Scrooge." "Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window, and as it wasn't shut up, and he had a candle inside, I could scarcely help seeing him. His partner lies upon the point of death, I hear, and there he sat, alone. Quite alone in the world, I believe." "Spirit," said Scrooge in a broken voice, "remove me from this place." "I told you these were the shadows of the things that have been," said the ghost. "That they are what they are. Do not blame me." "Remove me," Scrooge exclaimed. "I cannot bear it." He turned upon the ghost, and seeing that it looked upon him with a face in which some strange way there were fragments of all the faces it had shown him, he wrestled with it. "Leave me, take me back, haunt me no longer." In the struggle, if that can be called a struggle, in which the ghost, with no visible resistance on its own part, was undisturbed by any effort of its adversary, Scrooge observed that its light was burning high and bright, and dimly connecting that with its influence over him. He seized the extinguisher cap, and by a sudden action pressed it down upon its head. The spirit dropped beneath it, so that the extinguisher covered its whole form, but Scrooge pressed it down with all his force. He couldn't hide the light which streamed from under it in an unbroken flood upon the ground. He was curious of being exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, and further of being in his own bedroom. He gave the cap a parting squeeze, in which his hand relaxed, and had barely enough time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. We always see the breakup of Belle, and then the films, they say that famous line, don't they? "I told you, these are the shadows of the things that have been," said the ghost, "that they are what they are. Do not blame me." But then we never see Belle as an older lady, with a happily married husband and family and everything else. We never see that. I wonder why. Part 3 tomorrow.